talk about the stage. So, well, let's talk about a little bit more the details. As you know, Eurovision is approaching quickly, and it's time to start setting up the stage. I mean, they're already working on that, but, you know, getting the heavy equipment in there and starting the lighting tests and all of that stuff. So let's talk about this, because there are a few changes that have happened, or updates that have happened since then. So let me bring that up here. There you go. As pointed out, they are making progress with everything. They're working on a lot of things like the lighting, very important, the video programming, so that all the stuff that happens is done in a timely fashion and it's in sync with everything. They're about to move a lot of heavy equipment into the Pavilion 2, which is the arena in Tel Aviv on the fairgrounds that'll host the event. They're about to move into there with all the big stuff. It's going to be very, very important to get all of that done, because at that point we'll know more about what's going on. But you can see, you know how the stage looks like. You can see it on screen. We get to see, once that's all set up, a few more things, including like lights, sound effects, and all of that stuff. And at some point they will start the rehearsals with the stand-ins. We will not see any clips of that. That's all behind closed doors and hush-hush. Although sometimes we get like a little random leak when someone records the rehearsal and then puts it online. Don't know what's going to happen this year, but it happened in the past. But if everything goes according to plan, there will be no leaks, but we probably get some cool light and sound effects at some point. Excuse me, I need something to drink. Now, we all know by now that the whole triangle thing, as you can see at the top of the ceiling, is like the theme of the year, which kind of, like we see in the Star of David. There's also the mention of the number 12. A lot apparently has to do with the ancient tribes in Israel and all that stuff. So there's a lot of historical context there. But there are also some really cool things that we learned in that interview that recently happened. The triangles above, as you can see, they will have like video strips behind it, and which I think is really cool. But what's even cooler, what we're hearing, is that they're not going to have LED screens. We knew that was going to happen, but they will have like turning, like revolving LED screens. What? That is really cool. That opens up like all these new opportunities with staging. Although at that point you also need to have tighter computer controlling and programs. They need to be in place because, oh gosh, it has to spin and turn, and the person needs to walk and or dance and sing. So that is definitely a new level of involvement there. I'm definitely looking forward how that's going to look on camera. And as I said, we'll find out during the rehearsals. I will be, and my team will be in Tel Aviv for rehearsals. We're going to be in the press center live streaming, and we can give you the updates on how the staging is working. So subscribe to our channel, you fools. Also, as we know, the LED screens in the back will be back as well. The floor will have LED screens, so plenty of stuff happening with all these different angles that they can use. This will be quite an experience, I think, visually, and it is most definitely a big departure from last year, where, you know, the fairly minimalistic approach in Lisbon was interesting, but Israel decided, nope, we're going the other route. Interesting enough, during the interview that we saw, also they mentioned that not all delegations want to take advantage of all the stuff that's out there. Not all of them need to have like all the fancy stuff. Some will want to go more simplistic, and they don't need that. But then, at the same time, even though they may not want the revolving LED screens and all that crazy stuff, they want to have other things like projections, and that they want to do, and other options besides the LED screens, and they're trying to get that accommodated as well. This is a very elaborate process here. We forget how much work goes into that, and they have to satisfy 41 delegations this year alone. So that is crazy. I thought that interview that they gave was fascinating, and just a little FYI, apparently one delegation, though they didn't say a name, I wish they would have, they're requesting specific LED tubes that they want to use, but apparently they were available in Nashville, Tennessee, here my neck of the woods, and that is quite the demand, and not cheap. So I assume then the broadcaster or the delegation is paying for it, I would assume. So I don't know who requested that, but I think we can exclude the smaller broadcasters. They would never be able to afford that. So I think they were trying to see if they can find more of a local place where they can obtain the information. So that is where we're at. As you can see, the stage will be very much alive. And the goal was to make it really a thing where every performance looks different and is unique. That is the broadcasters and everyone's intent here. And from what I'm hearing, it's going to be a pretty interesting approach. Keep in mind, the arena isn't even that big. And having all these cool little gadgets there, I'm curious how that is all going to be put in place. If you have any questions about the stage or in general there, let me know at ESC United. That is the way to go if you want to ask that question. We can see that Israel is definitely doing a lot, putting a lot of effort into this. So I, at this point, actually have very high expectations. There are a lot of possibilities here. As you can see, you just actually have the stairs on the sides that you can walk down, then into the audience with that little catwalk, and it's going to be great. They're going to also have properly moving lights from what I'm hearing, so there's a lot going on, and it's very difficult to visualize it at this point, because we only get like bits and pieces of this, right? We don't not get all the details. But I'm excited, I want to see more of that, and I am ready to get some more information. Colossi, is it LED screens? Yes, there will be plenty of LED screens this year, as I pointed out, all over the stage, whether it's on the floor, at the top, behind them, next to them, spinning around. So, I don't know what else to say. I'm just so curious. I hate having to wait. I'm very impatient when it comes to Eurovision, but we have no other choice as of right now. So, I am really excited. I wonder who's going to go all crazy. I could see Russia really taking advantage of a lot of these cool effects. I can see some more of the quieter ballads to be very simplistic with a beautiful backdrop only. Screw all the fancy stuff that they have to offer. Just make it a mood and atmosphere that they need. So that is what I am hoping that they're going to get accomplished. And that is where we're at. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm really excited about the stage, and it feels as we're getting closer and closer to the contest, which we are technically. It's just like right now the news are a little bit more scarce. We don't get as many updates. So, we'll see. Stephen Candle is asking, for the people in the audience, where do the postcards play? So when you are, that's a good question. So you were in the arena and you're watching it, you've never been in there. You don't see that on the screenshot I showed you, but above the stage, onto the sides, there are gigantic monitors, usually at least 2 to each side, and you can view the entire show technically on screen. So you can watch the people on stage, but if you don't want to, you can just look up and look at that big giant screen, and you see the postcards on there and basically the entire show. So it's very interesting. So you can always see it on screen. They often use also the screen to make announcements during a particular performance. For instance, if you're supposed to take out your iPhone or your cell phone, whatever you have, and use the light during a pretty ballad, they tell you, turn on your cell phones now, and you do this, and then you get ready to do all of that. So that is all being displayed on the screen on there, and directions and the postcards, all of that stuff. So you still see all of that in the arena. So I am really, really curious about it and excited. I personally don't go into the arena actually a whole lot. Not during the live shows. I'm always in the press center, so I can talk to you guys, those who do not go to Tel Aviv and do the live coverage. Plus, I like it in the press center. I like it, to watch it on TV. I go in there during the rehearsals for sure.